Hi, it's LeAnn doing my vodcast for cognitive um, class looking over chapter 4, attention. So I have really been enjoying this class so far, and I find it so interesting to really be able to see how our brain functions and how we process the information around us. I think that's really cool. One of the things that I really learned from this chapter is that I have a high working memory capacity. I always have to have music or noise or sound going on around me to feel like I can accomplish anything. Um, I I will always have, especially when I'm sitting here at my desk working on homework or anything, I always have music playing of some sort. And I actually once upon a time tried to listen to a audiobook while doing homework, and I found that that did not work for me because I would um, get too focused on the audiobook, and then I couldn't focus on said quiz or discussion board or whatever I was working on the computer. And then I would be working on the computer and really focused on it, and then I would not be able to tell you what the audiobook said whatsoever. And so after trying that for a couple of times, I was like, nope, this does not work. I have to be able to just have something playing that is for the noise and not something that I have to put any kind of attention to, or it just doesn't work for me. So actually, on Apple Music, my favorite playlist that I do while doing homework is it's like Disney songs, but they're just the music in a kind of like a coffee shop jazz kind of way. There's no words, it's just music that like right away you know what song it is because it's just so well known. Um, anyway, I found that to be my favorite go-to um, music to listen to while doing any kind of assignment. And I just found that if I don't have anything playing, that I do not do as well on my like online quizzes here. I just have to have something playing. So I thought that was very interesting about this chapter. One of the other things that I really did find interesting from this chapter is the automatic processing of driving. Because, like it said in the chapter, there would be times that uh, I live 30 minutes away from where I drive, and so I take a highway to the town that I work in, and I come back and forth, and there's so many times where I um, have gotten home and I was like, I don't even remember going past this mile marker or this sign or something. Like it doesn't register. And I think that's what trips up so many people, and they're like, oh, I'm focusing, I can be on my phone or I can text or whatnot because I'm focusing. And I think that's where that it said in the chapter where if we even though driving becomes such an automatic processing for us, if we are distracted by our phone or even the music, if someone is like, not saying don't jam out, but like if someone is like focusing on the music and we're having like a mini driving concert going on, instead of focusing on actual driving, then we're missing those parts where it might become a controlled processing, like that's where we don't see. And that's why, honestly, I think that so many crashes happen when it comes to deer or um, anything like that because we're automatic driving, and especially me driving on a highway or whatnot. I've got my cruise control set. I don't really see like have much cars around me, especially if I'm working nights. I'm coming home, it's 11 at night. There's nothing happening. I've got my cruise control set. I don't even worry about putting my bright lights on anymore because I know the road so well that I know where I'm at and know what curves are coming up and whatnot. But that's when um, we're not prepared or actively thinking about that possum running out in front of us or that deer running out in front of us. Um, and so, our brain does that quick turn of automatic to like, here comes this animal. What do we need to do? And I think that's where, you have to make those fast decisions. And if you're not able to, then obviously um, you get in a wreck. And I can say that I have wrecked a car coming home from work one night by a deer. Uh, I didn't see it fast enough. I was, on my automatic processing and I didn't see it fast enough. And so by the time that I did see it and processed what was happening and I tried to get out of the way, it was too late. I hit the deer. So, um, yeah, not a fun time on that one. Um, the other thing, the Stroop effect, I found that really interesting to be able to name off the colors by just looking at the block. Like, okay, this block, like this sticky note right here in front of me, it's yellow. But then if you were to try to read the the words that are in a different color and be able to name off the color of those words and not say the words themselves, that did get very tricky. And I almost wonder if um I think about I'm a reader and I think about how many times do I trip up on reading because of that. Um because when you're reading, you visually picture something in your mind, right? Like as a reader, you have to have that imagination to be able to visually uh, put an image to what you're reading. And so if you see the word red, automatically you think of the color red, what it looks like, the characteristics of it, what is red. And if you were to see the word red, but that word is blue, you're not going to automatically think of blue because of tricking, right? So I would like to do some kind of research or some kind of experiment, maybe with kiddos that do not know how to read yet, and give them those words and see what happens. Because surely the kids that do not know how to read yet, they're gonna see the blue word red, and they're gonna say that word is blue. Anyway, I found that one to be very interesting. I thought that was uh, definitely an interesting part of the chapter. The last thing that I want to talk about, and I'm going to put it in my submission when I submit this into the assignment board, is it talked about the um, the gorilla, um, the gorilla illusion, where you had to watch how many times did the players in the white shirt pass the ball. Well, I'd never heard of that, and I was like, "Oh, that's interesting. I wonder if I could do that." I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be able to spot the gorilla. I know it's coming. I'm gonna spot it. I'm gonna count how many times it passed the ball, and I'm gonna do that." And so I just on YouTube searched up um, the uh, the illusion, and I picked on the first video that came up, and like I said, I'll put the link to that video in the admission. And anyway, I watched the first video, and I counted every time the people in the white shirts made a pass. I saw the gorilla came in. I watched the gorilla leave. I did it, and I was like, all right, they passed 16 times. The video comes on, like continues. They're like, okay, how many times did they pass? Did you get 16? That was the correct. And then it goes, but did you see the background curtain change colors? I was like, what? Wait a minute. And it said that it was like, if you're one of those people that knew that the gorilla was going to be there, then you saw the gorilla and everything. But did you see the background change? And I was like, dang flat, I was going to be smarter than this. I knew I was going to, I was going to catch it. But nope, the video then continues on. It shows where the gorilla comes in and the background curtain changes colors. And it even says that one of the people in the black shirts actually walk off as well. I didn't catch that either. Um, so I kind of now want to go around and have all my friends watch the video and see what they can catch, because I was just so sure that I was gonna get it, and here it got me. Anyway, this is a great chapter. I did like it a lot. Uh, I don't mind doing these vodcasts either. I like discussion boards in other classes. I like to be able to talk with my classmates. I know a lot of people don't like the discussion boards. They kind of like, I have to write a discussion board. I really enjoy it. But I'm highly opinionated too. I like to talk about things, and this way I just feel like I'm just talking to myself. But that's okay too, because anyway, I am finishing this. Thank you, and have a good night.